Today on the program, we'll see why the new Polo is going to crush the R5, and a study reveals that driving an electric car could make us dumber. No one wants the Ferrari Luce, and yet it's already sold out. And finally, Europe wants to monitor our speeding from space and automatically slow down our cars. Volkswagen is finally unveiling the real entry-level ID Polo, the Trend Trim, priced at €24,995. And guess who's directly in his sights? The Renault 5 E-Tech. In its 5 version, it's listed with just a €5 difference, so it's basically a declaration of war. And spoiler alert, the French car might just end up in pieces. Let me explain why this entry-level ID Polo isn't just a cheap car, but a real powerhouse. Let's get to the point, the battery. Volkswagen was smart. To lower the price, they chose a 37 kilowatt-hour battery with LFP chemistry, resulting in a claimed range of 329 kilometers. On the other hand, the R55 tops out at 310 kilometers with its 40 kW battery. But where the R5 literally collapses in the ring is when it's time to recharge. Hold on tight to keep its price under €25,000. Renault has simply removed fast DC charging on the R55. You're limited to 11 kW on AC charging. Basically, if you dare to take the highway, bring a good book and a thermos of coffee, because going from 15 to 80 will take you more than 2.5 hours. Meanwhile, at Volkswagen, the ID Polo Trend comes standard with 90 kWh fast charging, and going from 10 to 80 is done in 23 minutes. And that's not all. The ID Polo is also bigger, 4.05 meters long compared to 3.92 meters for the RE. As a result, the German car's trunk swallows up 441 liters compared to a meager 326 liters for the French one. So yes, the Polo Trend had to make a few concessions to offer this price. No light strips, no alloy wheels, but good old plastic hubcaps. However, inside, you get a standard dual digital screen, automatic climate control, and blind spot detection. In summary, the Renault 5 has an absolutely charming neo-retro design that's undeniable, but if you take away the nostalgia and look at the facts, the Polo Trend charges faster, goes further, offers more space, and doesn't hold you hostage at highway charging stations. And you, which one do you prefer? Let us know in the comments. Then we were sold the electric vehicle as the ultimate in progress. No more noise, no more emissions, and above all, no more effort. You get in, press a button, and the car does the rest. It's a paradise for the lazy. The problem is, while your left foot is peacefully resting on the carpet, and your right hand is desperately searching for a touchscreen, your brain cells are melting. A fascinating Japanese study has just thrown a wrench into the happy electrification narrative. Neuroscientist Professor Ryota Kawashima from Tohoku University has looked into the subject. And keep in mind, we're not talking about some obscure researcher in a garage. He's the man behind Nintendo's famous brain training game. So, what did he discover? Well, that driving a manual transmission car is good for your brain, and more specifically, your prefrontal cortex. For example, when you approach a roundabout with a manual transmission, you have to judge the speed of other cars, press the clutch, downshift, manage the biting point while accelerating, all while keeping an eye on the reckless cyclist to your right. This mechanical exercise, this dance of the pedals and the gear lever, requires constant attention and extremely quick decision-making. Professor Kawashima is clear. This activity engages our cognitive functions much more than an automatic transmission, where you just have to hold the steering wheel. In short, the manual gearbox keeps you sharp, while the automatic turns you into a passive passenger in your own life. And according to his research, it could even help delay age-related disorders like dementia. Yet look around you. The manual gearbox is rapidly becoming extinct, and its market share has collapsed in Europe. According to JATO Dynamics, in the 5 largest European countries, manual car sales went from 91% in 2001 to just 29% in 2024. And the invasion of electric cars doesn't help. By definition, electric cars don't need a clutch. So what should we do? Should we make Social Security reimburse the purchase of a Porsche 911 GT3 with a manual gearbox? Should we prescribe heel and toe driving courses by prescription? The idea is appealing, but while we wait for the Ministry of Health to look into the matter, the message is clear. If you want to keep your mind sharp, save the manual gearbox. Your left foot might hate you in traffic jams, but your brain will thank you. For those who may have been living under a rock these past few weeks, the Luce is the very first 100% electric Ferrari. It's also the brand's first 5-seat sedan. And it was designed by Johnny Ive, the father of the iPhone. On paper, it sounds like the synopsis of a horror movie for any self-respecting car enthusiast. And the reactions didn't take long to come. The purists brought out the pitchforks and torches. A very influential collector, approached by a salesperson from the brand to acquire this marvel, politely replied that the car didn't even deserve a Hyundai or Kia badge. It's like telling a Michelin-starred chef his signature dish tastes like cat food. On the day it was unveiled, the reaction was immediate. Ferrari's stock dropped by more than 7% on the stock market. So you might expect the Luce to be a monumental flop, an industrial disaster. Well, think again, because while European and American purists are mourning the death of the V12 on the other side of the globe, it's hysteria. In China, the first batch of 88 units allocated to the local market sold out in the blink of an eye. Sold out immediately. Dealers in Beijing and Shanghai are even taking new orders with non-refundable deposits, going up to 500,000 yuan, which is nearly 65,000 euros, just to reserve a spot in line. So how can this miracle be explained? It's very simple. Ferrari didn't design the Luce for old collectors. They designed it for a new generation of Chinese billionaires, customers for whom the prestige of a brand isn't measured by the sound of the exhaust, but by the logo on the hood and the connectivity inside the cabin. And above all, Ferrari was clever. In China, V12-powered supercars are hit with a harsh, outrageous tax system, with taxes approaching 120%. The electric Luce, on the other hand, benefits from a much softer tax rate, around 30%. In a slowing Chinese luxury market where Ferrari sales had dropped by 25% in the first quarter, this electric car is an unexpected lifeline. It's a brilliant but cynical strategy. At 600,000 euros with its 4 motors and 1,050 horsepower, it certainly accelerates hard, but its interior is focused on comfort, like a big Mercedes. It's a generic luxury product, silent and ultra-fast, designed to show off in Shanghai's traffic jams. So, is the Ferrari Luce a betrayal? For purists, unquestionably. It's a sacrilege, but for the accountants at Maranello, it's a stroke of genius. And finally, according to information from the British news agency Yonhap, reported by Automobile magazine, our friends in the European Union have come up with another brilliant idea to save us from ourselves. The goal? To have satellites detect our future speeding and remotely slow our cars down. The concept planned for around 2030 is as simple as it is terrifying. Your car will be equipped with cameras to read road signs, combined with a GPS and satellite data. If the satellite eye detects that you're driving at 85 km/h on a road with an 80 km/h limit, the onboard computer will take over. It will remotely force your vehicle to slow down to match the legal speed limit. The European Union promises that this braking will be done smoothly so as not to surprise you. That's rather nice of them. So of course the European Commission justifies this dystopian ambition with relentless figures. About 20,000 deaths occur on European roads every year, and technology could reduce this number by 20%. That's a strong argument. Who could be against saving lives? But what happens if you're overtaking a truck on a country road and you need a little burst of acceleration to get back in safely, and suddenly a satellite decides you're going too fast and cuts the throttle? You end up smashed into the grille of a 40-ton Scania. Brian Gregory from the British Drivers Alliance even called this proposal ridiculous and believes it is more likely to cause accidents than to solve them. There's also the question of the technology. If you've ever used a car GPS, you know that it often thinks you're driving through a field or that the speed limit on the highway is 30 km/h because it read the sign for the exit ramp. Do you really want to trust the braking of your vehicle to a GPS system that confuses a main road with a dirt path? In reality, the noose is already tightening. Since July 2024, all new cars sold in Europe must be equipped with ISA, Intelligent Speed Assistance, a system that beeps frantically as soon as you exceed the speed limit. And starting in July 2026, the GSR2 standard will require cameras that monitor if your eyes leave the road for more than 6 seconds. The EU has tried to calm things down in response to the backlash by stating that this satellite braking project is, for now, purely exploratory. But let's not be naive, that's how it all starts. First a study, then a recommendation, and finally a mandatory directive. So, are you for or against such technology? Let us know in the comments. And a quick reminder before we finish, your car insurance might be costing you too much. And what's surprising is that more than 1 in 2 drivers never compare, even though you could save up to 480 euros a year with our free comparison tool. It takes 2 minutes to find the best offers, it's obviously free and with no obligation, and you could save up to 40 euros a month. So try our car insurance comparison tool, the link is in the description or in the pinned comment. Thank you all for watching this new video. Feel free to subscribe and turn on the notification bell to make sure you don't miss anything. Bye.
Ciao!